Hey parents, I hope you're having a great day so far. I wanted to take just a few minutes to kind of do a quick follow-up with you guys based off of our Zoom Bible study that we held last night with our students. If your student wasn't able to join us, I hope that they'll look forward to doing that with us again this coming Wednesday, and we'll get details out of how to join and all of that. Last night we had a great time talking about something kind of odd. We talked about sinkholes. Yeah, you heard me right. We talked about sinkholes and how they occur and how everything looks normal on the surface, and then all of a sudden we get this huge hole in the earth, and they can be massive. They could even swallow houses, vehicles, and can be quite scary actually. And we applied that to our spiritual lives, how we have to really guard against spiritual sinkholes. We need to watch for erosion that is occurring under the surface. And to kind of help put that point into place, we looked at a fictitious scenario where there's a gentleman who seems to have it all together. He's been a believer for years, and he's got all this knowledge. Maybe he's a Sunday school teacher, could have even been a deacon, and things seem to be great on the surface. And then all of a sudden there's a spiritual cliff that he just succumbs to who knows what, but some huge spiritual conflict happens in their lives. And you think, how can that happen? This individual had it together. And maybe from the outside, he did seem like he had it together. So we talked about how do we experience spiritual erosion in our lives, where we may look like things are great on the outside, but what are some things that underneath our surface in our spiritual walk that allows for erosion to take place? And so we kind of looked at that. We know that knowledge about God isn't enough. We can't rely on our past knowledge of things that we've done that we know about God. That's not enough. We need to know that we need to spend time with Him. Those past experiences are great, and it's great that we've maybe spent a lot of time with God in the past, but this is something that we need to continue to spend time with and doing. When we don't do that, then a couple things can happen. We see in Genesis 4 with Cain, where God talks about sin lying at the door. I kind of have this image of a lion ready to pounce. We don't want to give sin any opportunity to impact our lives. And also we become overconfident. If we look in 1 Corinthians 10:12, we see here that we're reminded, let anyone who thinks he stands, lest he fall. We can't be overconfident in our own abilities. We need to rest on God and His Word and through His edifying. And how does that happen? What are some takeaways that we kind of walked away with last night? Well, we're really good at making excuses about being busy. We got to go do this, got to go do that. Well, right now, some of those excuses have really been kind of taken off the table due to COVID-19 and the pandemic and life, how that's been adjusted. We have to make time for God, even though I know that we're busy. And guess what? We can even be busy, maybe even in our boredom. We talked earlier in one of our earlier posts where we can just spend so much time just scrolling our phones, maybe playing video games, maybe even chatting with our friends. All those things are great, but we can't let those interfere with our daily walk with God. We need to set a schedule. So myself, as well as other parents and students, we need to set schedules. We are creatures of habit, and that could be a creature of a good habit, or it could be a creature of a bad habit. So we need to really make sure that we're guarding our habits and our time with God and setting that as a priority. Sinkholes, they're preventable, but they're also repairable in life. Thank goodness. And the great news is spiritual sinkholes are also preventable and they're repairable. Nothing is too big for our God to help us get through. So if we do have those moments, or maybe we haven't set aside time daily to spend time with God, well, guess what? Now's a great time let's get that set. Let's get that set and set up some good schedules, some good habits where we're spending time with God. And I encourage all of us to do that with our students as a family, praying together, reading God's Word. And maybe watching encouraging video for myself, Brother Paul, or others. There's plenty of other videos out there, but we need to be spending time together. I really miss getting to be with everybody. Please know that I and Jennifer, we love you guys. We're here for not just your students, but we're here for you as well. If there's something that we can do to help you guys, please know that we will. Just reach out to us, and we will do all that we can. We love you, and we can't wait till we can get to be the church, not just the church out in our communities, which we're getting to be now, and we should always be doing that, but also getting to fellowship together here. But until that time, let's keep encouraging one another, and let's prevent spiritual sinkholes, and let's spend time with God. Love you guys.